I come giving all honor and all praise to Jesus Christ. I bear reverence to the ancestors who watch over us, on whose shoulders we stand and in whose footsteps we continue to walk. I want to share a couple poems with y'all. The first one is called Life. Life is for the movers and the shakers and the step out on the limb risk takers, for the innovators and creators, the self-disciplined and motivators, not the haters or the fakers or the wannabe perpetrators, not the procrastinator, not now, I'll do it later. Life is for those with conscious mind, body and soul, running to the polls, setting standards and goals. Life is for those who engage the struggle and welcome the fight, whose oil lamp burns well into the night. So while you think it's cool, skipping school, acting a fool, smoking on a blunt, pulling a silly stunt, wasting time, you will be left behind in the unimportant line. This next one is a shout out to all my sisters out here, to all the ladies. We'll do a little something for the fellas a little later. But this is one of my oldie but goodies, one of my older poems, and it's called Sisters of the Struggle. This poem is dedicated to the sisters of the struggle, who always had their brothers' backs, walked that less traveled track. Babies never lack love and spirit always intact. To the sisters who were beautiful at birth, not knowing their prophecy to change the earth, yet compelled to manifest their destiny, hoping it to be pleasing unto their God. To the little girl who talked too much in class, never sat still and labeled fast, but more like misunderstood. Cause see, Dick and Jane didn't live in her hood. This boring and unchallenging rhetoric to her was irrelevant. Yet she knew the game and played it well, for it pleased all for her to excel. And this poem is dedicated to the sisters of the struggle, who always had their brothers' backs, walked that less traveled track. Babies never lacked love and spirit always intact. She was never one to succumb to peer pressure or obsessions for material possessions, but instead pressured the oppressor. Tears she shed willingly bled. See, she was down for the cause long before it was cool. Called a fool, banned from schools, hit with tools, but refused to die in a pool of unconsciousness and apathy. But God as her life jacket, knowledge as her vessel, truth as her oars, and faith as her anchor, she stayed afloat. And this poem is dedicated to the sisters of the struggle, who always had their brothers' backs, walked that less traveled track. Babies never lacked love and spirit always intact. Now as a woman, she embraced her role, her man she loved and hold, her babies nurture and mold, their fears and anxieties consoled. But don't be fooled, for with the cavalry she rode. For in the name of liberation, she pistol-packed, rolled bareback and dared her feminism to be attacked. This poem is dedicated to the sisters who conducted the railroad, stood at the crossroads when trodden in the dirt. Still she rose. To the sisters who were sick and tired of being sick and tired, ran on to a living goal, laws of physics defied. To the sisters who exonerated the essence, held up star, moon, and crescent, stood with the Little Rock 7 trying to get her lesson. She was the Brown fighting the Board of Education, sat at the lunch counter of segregation, ignored FBI intimidations, proudly reciting spiritual libations. And this poem is dedicated to the sisters of the struggle, who always had their brothers' backs, who walked that less traveled track. Babies never lacked love and spirit always intact. So to my sisters who pack school lunches, organize community functions, work 9 to 5, getting their degrees, all while maintaining family responsibilities. To the sisters in Beijing fighting for humanity, to Betty and Coretta for maintaining their sanity. To Miss Harriet Tubman, to Joyner Truth, Maya Angelou, Wilma Rudolph, Madam C.J. Walker, Dr. Madeline Stars, to each and every one of you, my sisters, I dedicate this poem to you.
Good evening and welcome to Bourbon Street Live on a Sunday evening. Of course, I'm JT Goodfoot, and I've got two special guests with me this evening. In fact, it's still Super Bowl Sunday where we're sitting there, so actually we're recording this recording prior to the show. And it was a very important day for two different groups. One being, of course, St. Louis, who won it all, and then, of course, Tom Morris, who today is his last day at Club Tryst. And one of the performers here that's sitting with me performed at the Tryst not too long ago on a Father's Day, as I recall. Well, maybe it's a couple years ago. And of course, I'm talking about Bobbye King Beavers, and with her is a gentleman who's not only the band leader on stage, but he's also the group leader of her one and only Ladies' Choice Band. And Mike, I want to welcome you to Bourbon Street for the first time. So glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And where are you originally from, Mike?
Chicago.
You're originally from Chicago. So how did you get the opportunity to meet Mrs. King?
It's kind of a long story. I moved from Chicago to Canton to get away from all the craziness in Chicago. And then there wasn't enough music in Canton, so I moved to Peoria. And eventually, Bobbye and I got together, and here we are.
One of your Ladies' Choice, Mrs. King.
Yes, he is.
And it's the year 2000. So now you can tell Peoria, you know, the whole Midwest. What are some of the plans of the Ladies' Choice Band and Bobbye King?
Well, JT, first of all, I'd like to send a belated Happy New Year out to all my people in Peoria. And for supporting the Ladies' Choice Band for quite a while now, we thank you so very much. We also want to let them know that in the next few months, we are looking forward to releasing a CD. We got some really great music that we're doing on the CD. My husband wrote some, I wrote some. I have
So all of these are originals?
Yeah, basically, yeah. We got a couple that we're going to do that were some remakes of some old tunes that are favorites of our fans. So, you know, we got to put them on there. If I don't put them on there, they'll be real upset with me.
I'd Rather Be Blind, I hope it's one of them.
Yeah, I'd Rather Go Blind is one of them, yeah. I think it's going to do that one.
Okay.
The rest of them are going to be a secret. You just let that out the bag, Jason. You were keeping that for a secret, but wouldn't I know you'd have to tell it.
Well, you know, I know that there's a lot of your fans out there that are hoping to see you at different locations around the area, and this year, even more so, I'm hearing that you're going to be going, hopefully not only national, but international.
Yeah, we're working on some things right now. I have some very dear friends who have put me in contact with some places overseas. We're looking forward to doing some work overseas. This is just still in the planning stage right now. So, you know, we're gonna just leave it right there, see what happens, you know.
And a lot of your fans wanted me to ask you this: are you any kin to Eddie King?
No, I'm not. I'm not related to Eddie King. No, I'm not.
That's interesting because as of last year, I know he was an international artist, and we hear, you know, in the good old home front, who are fans of Eddie King and want to say, well, if Eddie King is there, we know Bobbye should be somewhere close behind, if you know what I mean. That's a little Bourbon Street talk.
You know, I wish Eddie much luck in his CD that he's done. I've heard some of it. It's nice. It's really nice. He has been overseas, I know, a couple of times to my knowledge. I'm looking forward to joining him along with my honey, Bernard Allison. You know, maybe we can get some more Peoria over there. You know?
Right, and Bernard was here not too long ago.
Yes, he was. I usually get to see him. As a matter of fact, during the summer for the Blues Fest, after he did his show, he came up to ZZ Pop's where we were performing up there that night, and he sat in, and him and some of the band members and his family is like my family. We're all real close, and we partied. We had a good time. It's always a nice time with Bernard. Yeah.
And I must add this, and now a lot of the folks out there in television land don't know this, but Mike and myself and other folks here have just finished eating over to Bobbye King's place, and excellent. Really enjoyed the Super Bowl.
You had a good time.
And everything's great so far.
We have to give my husband credit for that, because today he fixed the chicken.
He played chef.
Yeah, he did what's so natural to him. Yeah. Yes, he did.
And it was great. And now, Mike, what does the band consist of now as far as players? Who are actually this year's Ladies' Choice?
Well, at this point, James Earl and Joe Davis are working the lead spot, keyboards and guitar. I'm playing bass and doing some vocals, and Bobbye's son Robbie is taking care of. He's stepping up.
Robbie Davis, he's from Peoria as well.
He's taking on some solo vocals, opening the show, and Craig Beavers, of course, is still a drummer. Taz just back there kicking it.
Taz. Everybody knows the Taz out there, believe it.
Yeah.
There's only one Taz.
Absolutely.
And Trent Tate on rhythm.
Sounds like it's going to be a real together group in the new year, and I know you like Bobbye are looking forward to the CD and doing other things beyond Peoria. So we want to wish you guys luck on that. And right about now, as I said earlier, you know, we talked about the Tryst, the fact that Sunday the 30th is the last day that they'll be open, and another black club, or should I say a minority club, closing. And that kind of, you know, I know that you performed there in the past.
Yes, I have.
And it's just one other place that you'll never again perform at. What do you think about that overall situation?
Well, we have performed at the Tryst a couple of different times for Mr. Morris, Thomas Morris. We've always had a good time there. It really saddened me to hear that he got to close, you know. Seemed like something else could have been worked out, a difference, you know, that he could have kept the place. I mean, you know, I hate to hear that it's closing, really.
Absolutely. And you know what? Right about now, we do have a little footage.
Okay.
You knew I had to bring back a little footage, you know.
Yeah. As long as it's nothing from my, you know, second or third grade, okay?
No, it's a little footage from a special day to you, and you had a special performance on that particular day at the Tryst. Of course, I'm talking about Father's Day a couple years ago. So right about now, if you don't mind, we'll take people out there in television land to that footage and wish Tom Morris the best of luck and your future, whatever you plan on doing in the future. I know you'll be successful at, and we're sorry to hear that you're closing the Tryst, the Blue Note. What other names did it go under?
Oh wow, there's quite a few others. I remember playing down there with the Peel.
Yeah, absolutely. Some
New
fantastic groups.
Yeah,
Fantastic groups.
yeah. I was one of them for a while, for a short little stint, but
I heard that.
I had a good time with the New Breeze, Brothers Incorporated, Peel, you know. So let's say hi to the Brothers Incorporated. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you're correct, Bobbye. There's been a lot of fantastic groups that have played at the Tryst,
Yes,
and we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, but hey, it's the year 2000, and there's gonna be a lot of changes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And right about now, we want you to check it out. Bobbye King Beavers and her Ladies' Choice Band live at the Tryst.
About a year ago, Miss Coco Taylor, Mr. Tyrone Davis, Mr. Clarence Carter Tryst, Mr. Bobbye King. And I like this lady right here. I'm gonna sing this out for Judy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Judy Page, hiding over here in the corner. Give her a big round of applause. My girl. If you don't believe it, baby, I can go there. If you ain't willing, honey, it's alright. If you don't believe me, baby, it'll be alright. 'Cause I'm still satisfied with loving you. And I'll be waiting around when you get through all your precious, baby. You're so precious. want to take you back. I want to take you back to Buddha skirts, Bobby King, and penny loafers. I want to take you back. I want to talk about love today. It's something that everybody needs right now. But if you got love and you don't have happiness, you ain't got nothing at all. I can't,
We're back, and we surely hope that you enjoyed that footage from the Tryst just a few years ago of Bobbye King and her Ladies' Choice Band. And if you just tuned in, we're here live on the day of the Super Bowl, enjoying it all. Really enjoyed the fantastic game. It was a fantastic game on both teams were fantastic and made it very enjoyable as far as the Super Bowl. And also hearing the bad news about Tom closing for the last time on this particular day. And we're back with Bobbye and her dog and Mike. What's this dog's name?
I get third billing.
Her name is Precious, and she likes you anyway.
Oh yeah, she does. She's shown her liking to me quite a few times this evening already. Hi, Precious. Bobbye, and I know you guys have got to go and get into your rehearsal and what have you, and but one of the things that some of your fans have asked me to do is to play back this particular next episode that you did at my house just about a year or so ago, and I'm going to do it right about this time, and then we got something else as far as a surprise for the people out there in television land.
Can I say this one thing?
Go ahead, Bobbye.
During the summer, during the Black Arts Festival, I was inducted into the Black Arts Hall of Fame. And I once again want to thank everyone that was there that day. And most of all, I want to thank Miss Millie Hall and Mr. James Thomas and all the other members of the Black Arts Hall of Fame for inducting me into it. I thank you so very much. And it's an honor to receive an award like that. To me, it's like getting a Grammy from my home, you know? So thank you so very much, and I hope I live up to it and many more to come.
Well, I heard that so well said. And you deserve it. You know, you're the Midwest queen of the blues.
Oh.
Hey.
I try.
Okay, this is a special clip that several of you fans out there in television land have asked us to play back for you. Bobbye King and her Ladies' Choice Band, and then we've got a couple surprises. Let's give it to our Bobbye King Beavers. How you doing, Bobbye? Are you hot, sweetheart?
Yes, JT is hot.
It is a little warm on the stage, isn't it? And on behalf of the Afro-American Hall of Fame, I'd like to present you with this plaque, and it says, Bobbye King Beaver's Queen of the Blues. And it's presented by the Afro-American Hall of Fame. And we want to hope that this is just be the start of things, getting you inducted into the Afro-American Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you, JT. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate this. This is like getting a Grammy from home, you know? For all the little people out there like these kids right here, I know it's quite a few of them usually come up to me and they be talking to me about singing and stuff. Believe me, this is a lot of fun, but education is real important too. So please try to get your education first. And if you want to take a major in music, that's fine too. But once again, I want to thank everybody here. Then those that are not here, thank you for this. This is really nice. Thank you.
graciously. Boom, boom, the beats to rock the nation. Please receive mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Come here, freak. Alosa MC. Dr. Dre, Operation Surgery.
This is Millie Hall with Dr. Romeo B. Garrett. It's Black History Month, and we're going to ask Dr. Garrett a couple of questions. Dr. Garrett, as you know, is the godfather of Black history in Peoria, Illinois. Dr. Garrett, we just viewed your collection down at the public library, and we'd like to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you start to collect things on Black history in the first place?
Why? Mainly because I want to know more about Black history. And the way to know more about it is study more about it. That's what I've been trying to do for all these years.
About how many years have you been studying Black history?
Oh, I'm ashamed to give you that now. Well, I would say about 30 years. 30
Okay.
years, at least that. At least.
Okay.
Enjoying every minute of it.
Well, that's good.
Yes, indeed, I try.
Why do you feel our young people need to know Black history?
Oh, after all, it's Black history that has made us. Not just the white people that but for all people.
Okay.
Black people have done as well as white, and even beyond the whites. And so therefore I have the great interest. That's why one reason why I'm trying to know more, not only among black people, but among white people.
Of all people?
Yes, white people, yes.
Okay.
My recent book, as you may have heard about it, is Black History and the Negro.
Okay.
Which takes in the Negro as well as the white person.
Right.
And that's why I have this particularly interest in Black history.
Okay.
Trying to learn more and more about Black history.
Okay.
And the ways to learn more and study more.
I'm going to mention just a couple of, some of your writings and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
As a sociology professor, also teaching classes in anthropology. And of course, you always put Black history in those classes as you taught them. We know from talking to some of your students.
All the time.
Yes. But there were the first facts about Negroes. There's the Negro in Peoria, which I'm very much interested in. And of course, the one that you have here, the Presidents and the Negro.
That's right.
And there were many articles and so forth published in journals and so forth.
It's all the way from back to Booker T. Washington.
Yes.
And that's the very beginning.
Yes.
That's not really began. The study of black history then.
And you know, for our 11th annual meeting celebrating 11 years that we've been operating as the African American Museum, we will have someone speaking this year on the Underground Railroad. And I know you did some writing on that, and talked about Moses Pettingill right here in Peoria.
That's right.
And so now we're going to bring this lady who will talk to us about the Underground Railroad and how at this point there are many historic sites being plugged out and pointed out in terms of a map to kind of document all the different stops and the spots on the Underground Railroad.
Well, now, when did this happen?
That'll be March 27th, which is next month. We only got a couple more days left here of Black History Month. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad you told me that.
Well, we hope you can be with us.
Oh, sure.
We certainly hope so, yes.
Sure, indeed. When will that take place?
That will be at the Hotel Pure Marquette, right up the street here.
Good. I'll be there up the street then.
Yes.
No excuse.
Oh, it should be a beautiful program.
I'm sure of that. Yes, I'm sure of that.
And of course, we might point out for these young people that the Underground Railroad was neither a railroad nor was it underground, but it was a system of stops or a system of hiding places or holding places for black people as they moved from one stop or one area to another to keep from being forced into slavery.
That's right.
And of course, Harriet Tubman is one of the well-known people of the Underground Railroad. And of course, there were many white people who helped with the Underground Railroad.
You're right about that. One of the founders of it, no question about that. That's why I studied black history, not just for 1 week, but one entire year.
For all people, yes.
Yes, every year I study a little black history.
Well, thank you for having a few words with us today.
I'm glad to
we appreciate that.
Yes, I appreciate that.
And it's a beautiful day, and we thought, well, we could get here and get a couple things, questions with you, and spend some time with you talking about your favorite subject, Black history.
That's right, Black history all the time. So you appreciate that.
Is there anything that you'd like to say? Any famous last words or anything that you think Peoria ought to be doing as we approach, this year 2000, etc.? You've got a street here named after you.
Yes, indeed.
You've got Garrett Multicultural Center.
That's right.
You've got the Garrett Scholars, so you really kind of left your mark on Peoria here.
You're right about that.
Are there anything you'd like us to know that we ought to be doing, and particularly as black people?
All I would say, continue studying black history.
Continue to study black history.
That's it. In fact, we ought to study black history, not just 1 week, but 1 entire year.
Okay.
Yes.
Not just 1 week, not just 1 month,
That's
but
right.
all 12 months.
All 12 months. And if you do that, you're doing your job.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do myself.
So that's what I'll tell them. Garrett said you need to study black history 12 months of the year, not just February.
That's right. That's correct. Yes, indeed. And then anything that I can do to help, call me. I'm ready.
Oh, we're always calling on you for books and research, all kinds of, you've got a very terrific library in there, and I'm always, as I prepare an article or something, I'm always referring back to some of your work.
I noticed that. Yes, all the time. You've done a good job here. That's what you're doing now.
Well, we're trying.
Yes, I want to do a good job.
We're definitely trying.
And there's this young lady here with you too, young man there.
Yes.
That means a lot. Yes.
That's Mrs. Boggs.
Oh, I know, that's Mrs. Boggs, yes.
We call her Rosa Parks of Peoria.
That's it.
Okay, y'all, this next one is a new one, so y'all gotta bear with me, because I'm not, I gotta feel it first, so I hope y'all like it. I'm talking about the revolution, y'all. See, we talk about the revolution like it was a dance we did in the 60s, came after the Lindy, but when we learned how to bebop, we stopped. But to some, that thing was near and dear, so this goes out to the brothers who ain't here. See, because Emmett Till didn't get killed to start no cause when he ran up against Jim Crow and his laws, but brothers like Kwame Ture did. He became the voice of the hour when he lifted up his fist and shouted out black power. And because the revolution he lived, slept, and breathed, the government forced him to leave, and they couldn't kill him, so they destroyed his seed, found a new way to castrate, gave a brother cancer in the prostate. But see, we're too far removed and not in tune. We watched the revolution on CNN from our bedrooms talking about, that's a shame what happened over in Rwanda, not knowing what goes on in America. Because nobody televised what happened to Geronimo Pratt when decades in prison he sat and sat and sat. Fearful over his influence over the general population, they kept him in total isolation, so for 4 years he sat in the hole with only memories of blues to soothe his soul. His only crime was that he was in tune with the time, and because he had the freedom of press to do so, his spoken word was controversial, so he had to be silenced. It was the Malcolms, the Martins, and the Marcus Garveys of yesteryear, but now Master P and Puff Daddy got your ear. See, we got too lazy and won't get off our butts, but the revolution has got to be picked up. It's time to boycott those businesses that boycott you, and there's your dollar on the line. Time out for the picket signs. No easy solution to this demolition, but a revolution starts with the mental evolution. I'm talking about the revolution, y'all. Okay, this is the last one, and this one goes out to all the young people, and I want you to pay attention because I don't want you to miss nothing, because I got a message for you, and this one is called Knowledge of Self. If you knew that you were made in the image of the one who gives life, would your ways, words, and actions still be so trite? And if you knew, would you still be ashamed? When Mother Africa takes over your perm and naps up your mane, you better know that your ancestors died. Their bodies were thrown to the tide, beaten, bound, gagged, and tied on an inhumane boat ride. Not for you to carry a 9 at your side, have babies citywide, or gold in your mouth 3 teeth wide, because if you knew, then you knew it was to give you a sense of pride, to lengthen your stride, put God at your side, and make you run on when tired. Then you would know that the mother of civilization and positive karma wouldn't be a slut, a trick, a bee, or just your baby's mama. You better know if you are a producer or consumer, spreader of truth or just rumors, part of the problem or the solution, wanting integration or revolution, promoter of change or apathy, stimulant or stifler of positivity, which do you be? I mean, you better know that you are the descendants of a people destined for greatness, overcoming by the words of their testimonies of another's hatred, eating soul food for the spirit and cuisine for the mind, never minding the wines from the vines that offer good times but leave behind memories unkind. The only spirit's enticing is the one of the anointing that brings truth and sets free, that will give a people peace. See, you better know that it was Hattie Mae and Bobby Joe who went to jail so you could vote. And if you knew that Miss Rosa put up such a fuss, then you wouldn't always head to the back of the bus. And if you remember when Emmett got lynched from a tree, then you might not use that word nigga so freely. You better know who you are and quit acting like a fool. What's dope about a player who can't finish school? Yeah, you a player, all right, straight playing yourself, disgracing the forefathers and squandering the wealth of your potential and intellect, your creativity and self-respect. But see, all blessings flow and dignity prevails when your mind is paroled from its self-loathing jail. Then you may reap the harvest and enjoy the wealth once you have a knowledge of self. God bless you. Thank you.
Get up for Tasha Randall.
We're back again. And if you just tuned in, we're celebrating with Bobbye King and Brother Beaver. He's somewhere over there doing some marketing work. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Marketing work for the band, Ladies' Choice Band. And we're having a great time. Had a nice Super Bowl dinner. And we had the pleasure of checking out the St. Louis Rams defeating Tennessee. Bobbye.
Yes.
We talked about the Tryst. I guess we kind of talked that to death here on Bourbon Street. Good old Tom. You know, and I'm hearing some favorite rumors too that hopefully that he's going to be able to relocate somewhere else and keep on doing his thing. And because you know, like Vic Burnett was saying in his Peoria 2000 that I just happened to be at the Civic Center a few weeks ago, January 7th to be exact, on a Friday, that we have to respect the past and imagine the future. And just speaking of the future, you told about your CD. Give us a couple of the numbers that are on the CD. Go ahead and give it up now.
CJT, once again, you trying to get me to reveal my secrets. We're trying to keep this, you know, on the down low. You know, one of them is What Can I Offer You? I wrote that one. We have another one called It Ain't Easy to Say.
The Other Woman.
We have The Other Woman. The Other Woman is really up-tempo, and
now, who wrote The Other Woman?
I wrote The Other Woman.
I mean, what kind of mood do you have to be in to write a tune called The Other Woman?
Well, most of these songs were written because of personal experiences or people that we have in our life, you know. So I'm just going to say that The Other Woman is some people that we know. Okay? We'll leave it like that, okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you the last question. Will we be able to hear you do some of these songs live this year on Bourbon Street?
Oh, sure you will.
Well, I heard that.
Not today.
Not today. But time on Bourbon Street.
Not today. Full of food right now. Not today.
Now, there's a lot of young people that are just looking in, and they've seen you do your thing, you know, different parts of the city. Do you have any motivating words you want to share with them?
Oh, you know, I talk to young people all the time. As a matter of fact, this coming Wednesday, which is actually February the 2nd, I'll be down at the Harrison Library with Miss Joanne Costick. And I usually do something with Joanne and the kids at the library for Black History Month. When she was the librarian in Taft, I would go down there and do some type of little musical program with the kids. So I'm going to be doing one this coming Tuesday at 3. I think it's at 3 o'clock with Joanne and some of the kids down there.
That's February what now?
February 2nd.
So this is just for the kids there at the center?
Oh, well, it's for anybody that wants to come. You know, the residents, you know, parents, you know, anybody else that wants to come. It's always open, you know, but, you know, it's for the kids, but we always welcome parents too, you know.
Well, I heard that, and I know a lot of parents and children are going to definitely look forward to that. You know, as far as the year 2000, we on Bourbon Street plan on recording more live performance of Bobbye King, Beavers, and other groups in the area, but we think that Bobbye King, Beaver, and the Ladies' Choice Band should be heard and seen not only in Peoria but all over the Midwest.
We travel, you know, we do a lot of traveling. We do, and you know, I have some very, very good musicians, and I'm really blessed that my husband is the manager of the Ladies' Choice Band, Mr. William Beavers, and my husband helped me establish this band. It's going on 11 years now, you know. So Has it been 11 years? Yes, JT.
Wow, 11 years.
Behind that, I know there's something that you're going to say.
No, I'm not going to say anything at all. Because I was thinking that there's been 11 wonderful years, and as I was growing up, and well, I used to always listen to Bobbye King and the Ladies' Choice Band. I was always a fan.
Are you trying to say that I'm older than you?
Well.
Something come along there is almost like sounding like as a child.
But you know, we always enjoyed you guys here on Bourbon Street, and we definitely hope you will take our invitation and come back.
Let me ask you a question, JT, before we leave. If I walked you to school and you've been listening to me for so long, then why is it you and my husband will turn 50 both in the same year?
That's just a myth. I've told people that I'm older than I actually am. I was there when he was there, but I was a lot younger.
Oh, so that's not true.
That's just Bourbon Street talk. Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Okay.
And we'll be back with more Bourbon Street right after these messages.
As I give, say